But I want to address personally an issue that's come up and been the source of much discussion and most recently press conference, and that is the case of Fernando Jimenez. Last week, an individual residing in the town of Somers, Fernando Jimenez, 40 years of age, reportedly shot his girlfriend and her 2 sons and fled the scene of the shooting. He was apprehended by the police about 10 miles away from crime sources, and he was brought in, arraigned, and he was charged with murder as one of the 2 young men that he shot died of their wounds. The other 2 individuals are currently in critical condition, and so therefore the charge would be 2 counts of attempted murder, and that may change depending on the status of the other 2 individuals who are right now fighting for their lives. Jimenez is under custody in the Westchester County Jail, and he will be held under custody over an extended period of time. The Somers Town Court, which has jurisdiction over the immediate incident, has reset the date of Monday, November 18th, 2 weeks from tonight, when it is expected that in their court action, they will refer the case from the town court to the county court. Our county courts, Westchester County Court, is a court where criminal prosecution can occur. It is expected that the Westchester County District Attorney, acting under her own independent authority, will prosecute Mr. Jimenez, and I would expect to the fullest extent of the law. There is no sanctuary for Fernando Jimenez. He will face accountability for his actions. Anyone who says otherwise is not telling you the truth. The Federal Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency has requested a detainer for Mr. Jimenez, which would allow them to take charge of Mr. Jimenez from our jail. There is no necessity for a detainer. Mr. Jimenez is not being released to the public. Generally, when ICE asks for a detainer, they intend to deport a person who has not been documented as authorized to reside in the United States. We have maintained a dialogue with ICE. We have on this case as we have on others, and we've informed them that Mr. Jimenez remains in our custody and will not be released as he faces the full extent of the law. Mr. Jimenez was apprehended once, roughly about 20 years ago, and was turned over to ICE, and ICE deported him. And he found a way to come back into the United States subsequently. So if we want justice to be done, deporting him again is of no value. Protecting our citizens requires him to remain in our custody in our county jail and to face all of the prosecution that will follow. Westchester County law allows for ICE to take possession of any individual who may be in our county custody if they provide a federal judicial order, which is easily obtained from the U.S. District Federal Court located here in downtown White Plains. Why does the county require this? Because we hold individuals in our prisons at the direction of a local town, village, city, county, or state court who has the judicial authority when they are arraigned. And we need a federal court judge to override that local judicial order if we're going to maintain the system of laws that protect us all. We will comply with that order. We will do it readily. So the argument that somehow someone is being retained and given sanctuary is not true. There are many people out there who hold views that believe that in this federal government of ours there is a deep state, a devious group of people that act outside of judicial and legal responsibilities, government agencies acting on their own. We simply require that there be a federal judicial oversight by a magistrate or a judge that would then allow ICE to have the authority to take someone in our possession and turn it over to them. We don't believe that that is anything like a sanctuary policy. We think it's an intelligent check and balance that protects everyone from governmental overreach. We said so in the legislation as it was created. Now, a host of politicians seeking election tomorrow, earlier today, called for overriding that law, for repealing that law. This law offers a very simple procedure to make sure that justice is done and all sorts of interests are properly protected. If the people at that press conference really cared about public safety, they could have used that platform to call for tougher laws to prevent domestic violence incidents like this. It was the domestic violence incident that was the source of the discussion at the vigil that was held on Saturday night. The tragedy of losing a young man, the potential tragedy of losing a woman and another son, because of a domestic violence incident. A few weeks ago, Arlene O'Neill, a mother and a teacher, was murdered by her husband in another domestic violence incident. I didn't see a press conference then. The gun that caused the murder is one more example of a tool of death that is awash on our streets. I didn't see a press conference on that either. Let me summarize. A murder was committed. The accused murderer is under county incarceration and will remain so until he faces justice. Any attempt to turn the public attention away from praying for the victims, who deserve our attention and prayer, to turn public attention away from yet another example of a heinous domestic violence incident, or to turn the public's attention away from the gun that an individual who is violent used to murder another individual. All of these attempts are seeking votes. They're not seeking justice. We are committed to implementing programs that have reduced murders in this county demonstrably over the last 7 years. And we have shown our willingness to punish those that do commit murder.